Core training for surfers. If you surf, you are an athlete. Your spine needs to be durable, mobile, strong. This is core training a little outside of the box than your traditional crunches and planks. Let's get into it. And yeah, I'm here in the Mentawais. That's Hollow Trees. And we are filming at the amazing Catiet Beach Resort. Good friends of mine own and run this place. Epic place to stay and get barreled at Hollow Trees. Let's go train. It's our fitness model, our one sock wearing, new Michael Jackson fad fitness model. This is gonna be relevant because he's not done any of these exercises unless he's done them in the Surf Athlete app. He made the Surf Athlete app. This is Mariano, right? So all of these core exercises are taking into account your core is 360 degrees, and it's the stuff above and below that attaches to the pelvis. So we're gonna tackle this in a functional way and understand that as a surfer, you're an athlete, your spine and core have demands that are a bit different than a normal individual, hence these. So if you are coming off of back pain or issues, this is not the starting point. You should check out the Surfer's Back solution in the app. And dude, why are you wearing one sock?
Well, I got some scars and it's a way to protect it.
Hollow Trees. We're here at Hollow Trees in the Mentawais, Catiet Beach Resort right here. He cut his feet up. That's a common occurrence. That's my back scratch. He's got some back scratches. It's the reef, baby. So we're gonna start with posterior chain, muscles on the back side of the body. You're gonna see me coach him through these. He hasn't done them really, so you can follow along. Better yet, get the Surf Athlete app and you can start using these for training. I want you to lay on the ball this way, so on your belly. Perfect. And I'm gonna have the scoot this ball back. So scoot the ball backwards, move everything back. More, your feet too. Keep coming, keep coming. Now move the ball back more. Yes, there we go. So I want you to kind of start getting situated here and think of tailbone, crown of head, to just be long here. So not necessarily pulling back like that, kind of just nice neutral. So we could put like a broomstick along his back and all would be good. I'm gonna need him to find his center point. We're gonna go into a Superman, but I want you to lift this leg. Good, you feel that, put down. Lift this leg, feel that, good, down. Lift this arm, point it up into a Y position. So not an I here. If we go into a Y, it's a little bit easier for the shoulder joint and puts a little more load into the lower trapezius. You feel that, cool, down. This arm, thumb up to the sky, not an I, a Y. There we go, okay, cool. Now, that goes back down. He's gonna have to position himself to try to find his center point on the ball. So what I want you to do is without hyperextending the low back, so this stays nice and stable, lift one leg up, good, lock it in. Lift the other leg up. And if you need to, you're gonna have to maybe push your body further forward on the ball. There you go, good. Feel that. If you need to move the arms forward, all good. Now, take one arm, I'm holding the ball for him to get this sensory awareness. Take one arm, not to an I, but more of a Y. Now try not to curve so much. Stay nice and long, point to point. Now I'm holding the ball. See if you can take your other arm up. Both arms. There we go. So this is a good learning experience, right? It'd be a little better if the ball was a touch more inflated. And again, I'm holding this ball for him. Go ahead and relax the legs, kind of recenter yourself if needed. So this is putting his body into a really dynamic situation where the core is constantly having to fire to maintain spinal neutrality. If you can paddle on a surfboard for hours, you should be able to do this for 60, 90, 120 seconds nonstop. I'm gonna hold the ball. We're gonna get you really stable. Now reposition your body so you can find the center. There we go. If you need to move the arms to maintain balance, they can come closer in, they can go further out. Now I'm gonna let go of the ball, okay? So you're gonna have to find neutral. You might need to roll a little further forward. come on, come on. So I want you to now try to find your position on that ball, where what I'll have people do is maintain 3 points. So have 1 point of contact, stable. Now find balance and neutrality. And then once you find it, you can, there we go. So this is challenging for him. This dude surfs hours a day. On our last surf trip, you clocked what, over the trip?
40 hours?
30 plus hours of surfing on our trip. We did a boat trip just recently. There, you see he's starting to get it now. He's starting to figure it out. So the starting point for this is just to figure it out. The nervous system needs to, let me get that mic up. The nervous system needs to learn how to control. And then from there, we can start adding load and duration. Hop off for a second. Let's see if I can manage this. This ball's really deflated. I would suggest you get a good ball with some inflation. So I need to feel what the ball feels like at first, kind of find my center point. Find the center point, so I need to be about there. I'm kind of, okay, that's where about I need to be. Ain't my first rodeo, bruh. And so I would put on a timer and have people 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You might start 30 or 60 seconds. But notice I'm not going into huge extension. I'm trying to stay pretty neutral. And seeing me do that, see if you can kind of replicate that. Find that balance point. Keep both hands on the ground so you can kind of find the center. So, both hands on the ground. Now lift this up and then just start barely, hold on, not yet, not yet. Listen to me. You're just gonna barely float the hands off, just so you can find if you need to be further forward on the ball or further back. And then once you kind of find the center, then you can really start pulling those hands up. Think about being long. There he goes. Lift those legs up more. There you go, like you're on a surfboard. Lift them up. There he goes. For his first time ever, he's doing amazingly well. I would guarantee in the second or third workout, he'd start crushing these. Then we could start going into time duration. It's a cool exercise, yeah?
I love it.
Yeah, really challenging. Mind you, this guy's a surf athlete, hence him developing the Surf Athlete app. So the challenging drill, it's not a starting point if you have back pain. Again, the Surfer's Back solution in the Surf Athlete app, really beneficial drill. We're gonna keep going after posterior chain, muscles on the back side of the body. The hamstrings really control the pelvis, contribute to low back durability and knee health. I want you to lay on your back for me, feet towards me. Spin around, there we go. If you hear background noises, there's development, there's people cutting grass, there's dudes sharpening knives, it sounds like right now. Get that mic right, okay, cool. So it's gonna be a hamstring curl, but we're gonna go towards single leg, because again, we're surfers, we need to be dynamic. It's a killer Michael Jackson sock. From this position, arms can be on the ground for a little extra support, but I want palms to the sky. Just push your heels down into the ball and push the hips up tall. Good, maintain that position. What I want you to do is try to posterior, there we go, okay? So we don't want to anterior tilt and get this big low back arch. Maintain that posterior tilt, and I want you to pull your heels towards the body. So you bend the knees and pull the heels. Bend the knees up, pull the heels. Good. So what people will usually do when they do that, leave the butt lower down behind, they do this. That's not what I want. I want hips up, knees up. So now see, he's gonna be in line from shoulder to knee. Now release the legs forward, keep the hips up nice and tall in that posterior tilt, really do engage the glute, not drive excessively into the low back. Now pull the knees and drive, perfect. He's got this. I like to see 15 to 20 reps. This is used a lot in the Surf Athlete 12-week program. Good, so now we're gonna make this more dynamic. Maintain that position. One leg, straighten it out. Good, now use this leg to lengthen. Now see if you can pull it back in. Hip up, much more demanding, yeah? This is a really good drill. We might see people do only 5 or 6 reps. Go ahead and relax for a minute. Reposition those legs, breathe for a second. Usually I like to see people 5, 6, 8 reps, maybe towards 10. They usually have to start just with the eccentric portion. So I'm gonna show you the eccentric portion. Go ahead and hips up. Good, hold that position. Straighten one leg. Control this leg out to the start position. This leg now comes back down. He uses both legs to pull up. Switch legs. This is controlling the eccentric portion. Good. If you need to, every couple reps, you kind of have to reposition the feet on the ball a little. Now see if you can just do, again, full reps on one leg. All the way out, all the way in, just one leg. Drive through that heel, hips up, hips up, hips up. There it goes. Good. He might need to reposition the heel on that ball after a couple reps. You get the idea. Really challenging, yeah? Hard drill. He's gonna feel that heaps through his hamstring. He just needs to make sure he doesn't excessively arch the low back, so we keep the focus on the hamstring and the glute complex. He's stronger than I expected him to be. You must have been using the Surf Athlete app, huh, dude? Cool. Epic drill. This will fry you. Start with the 2-leg version, 15, 20 reps. If you do them well, it's way harder than you think it's gonna be. We're now gonna get into some abs. So much of surfing requires flexion of the spine. So if we think of the bottom of a pop-up, we're going from full extension to full flexion, rounding. So we need to train our core and spine to be able to round and to flex. And a lot of that is controlling the pelvis. We're gonna use a reverse crunch. So let's get our one sock wearing fitness model over here again. Lay on your back, feet here, head there. All right. You at home, that could be a table, that could be a kettlebell, anything to kind of hold on to. So hands are gonna go there for a bit of support, okay? Those are gonna stay there. It just helps lock his upper body. This is important. You need to learn how to disassociate hip flexion from spine flexion. So bring both knees up. What people will do is cheat this exercise and just pull knees towards the chest. That is hip flexion, okay? Those are back farts. That's an amazing back fart. I hope you can hear that. So that is hip flexion. During this exercise, I want you to think that you're driving your knees up to the sky and then towards the head. What that's gonna get is the rectus abdominis, particularly subumbilical, meaning below the belly button, to pull the pelvis. This is a reverse crunch, done really, really, really well. So to start with, the way I teach it, keep those arms there. All I want you to think about is trying to raise your knees straight up to the sky, 1 or 2 centimeters. Perfect, and then back. So now don't even worry about coming back yet. I just want you to try to bring these straight up. There it is, and an amazing back fart. That is epic. Good. So he's getting this posterior tilt of the pelvis, flexion and rounding of the spine. Perfect. That's the starting point, okay? What people do is, it's hard, yeah? People don't do that, and they just do this. That's hip flexion, and they think they're doing a reverse crunch. They're not. So what I want you to do, think of centimeter or 2, and then the knees there we go. And then we control back down. It's got, the knee, think of it doing this arc, this kind of half moon. Go for it. Yes, there, and that's as far as it needs to be, and then we control down, and then up.
Oh, I've been doing this wrong all the time.
I guarantee almost everybody is.
I'm doing 40, I don't think I can do 10.
Up, there we go. And now control back down. This is an amazing way to strengthen the rectus abdominis, some internal oblique, even some external oblique, doing it in a really controlled way. So he's almost bringing his knees. I want your knees to come to my hand. Boom, there we go. You feel the difference?
Yeah.
Hard, hard drill. Epic. Relax. That crushes abs. That eventually becomes hanging from TRX, and you're still working on you've now learned how to posteriorly rotate the pelvis. A big progression of that, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do this right now. I want you to stand where that kettlebell was, and I'll see if I can show this. So just stand on up. I'm gonna use you as a support. Walk towards me. I'm gonna hold on to your legs. Oh, we're getting into a little kinky sex act here. Okay. I'm gonna pull on you, so just be prepared. I need you to be straight and stable. Ah, you good?
Yeah.
So now I've got to deal with the instability of the ball as well. Oh, those are hard. Ugh. Really, really hard drill. Start with the floor, 10, 15, 20 reps, and you build up. So already we've kind of really lit up dynamic, functional, athletic capability core. Let's give them one more. We were gonna give you 3, we'll give you a 4th bonus section here. I have a QL strain, did it yesterday. My lower back's been acting up. Yesterday did a turn, felt this little tweak right in my QL. A good way to strengthen QL muscles. Side plank variations, but we're surfers, we need to progress them. I'm gonna show you a rep and then we'll get you into it. Stand right there just so I can push my foot against your foot. Imagine him being a wall. Perfect, he's a wall. I get set up in this good kind of position here. The starting point, for me, since I've kind of got a little bit of a strain, I would come into this position and just hold 10 seconds. So it's really loading quadratus lumborum, this deep spinal stabilizing muscle, but also obliques. I could then start coming overhead and holding. It eventually becomes full side crunches. So let's get you set up into that side crunch position. You can put your foot up against that. And at first it's finding the setup. That looks perfect. So I'd start first with people hands across the chest. It's just a little easier. I'm gonna help stabilize the ball for him. He's gonna do a few reps and he might need to see like if he needs to move the ball. So initially we would just hold. He would come to a nice straight spine position. Hold. See, he's got a little too much of his side on the ball there because it's a really deflated ball. So I would actually bring it the other way. Bring the ball towards your foot. There you go. This is a nice support leg. We get everything nice and straight. Straighten out that leg. Good. Side bend over. Keep going, and we would just hold there. Cool. Now we would eventually progress into full flexions or side flexions. So let your body come. I'm gonna hold you all the way over. Now side bend up. And exhale as you side bend up. Perfect. Controlled opening, lengthening through the oblique line. Crunch up. Mariana's gonna get some abs, bro. Getting muscled up. And up. It's legit. And then you could go hands behind the head. That would be a progression. Eventually you can hold weight. You gotta think of the loads going through the spine that you as a surfer kind of slash athlete endure. And so there needs to be, that's a really hard one there. Yes. Epic drill to train. You can go towards more strength parameters, meaning lower, higher intensity, lower reps, higher intensity, higher reps for endurance. Again, I would start coming off kind of this sprain thing. I would just get into a positions and I would just hold for time, 20 seconds, 5 or 6 reps of that, up to a minute, eventually starting to get into side flexions. Really epic drill. So that's an amazing couple of core exercises geared towards higher level, higher capacity. You can build up to it. You could take 2 of these and alternate back and forth. So you're doing like a core circuit, reverse crunches, and then the Superman, because then you're hitting front line and back line of muscles. Or you could do side crunches and the hamstring curl, right? So you're kind of doing this really good core superset. Or again, get the Surf Athlete app. These are integrated into the programming there. Do you have any questions that they might have?
Important to have this ball well inflated?
Yes, so you'd want it more inflated. The balls I recommend are called AOK Duraballs or Medi balls. They're expensive, but you'll have them forever. They're anti-burst. These things, you always run a risk of it kind of bursting. A good Medi ball, AOK ball, I've had mine for like 10 years. I can still stand on the thing. So the more you want it not hard, but you want it to have some resistance, this is a little too soft.
And how many rounds would you say this?
Depends the starting point. So if somebody's just starting, we might only have them do 1 round of each. If somebody's really well conditioned, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, depends on the total sets or exercises and reps. We got old mate selling seashells.
Huh?
So yeah, get to it, get the Surf Athlete app, amazing core training. And remember, if you're in pain, this isn't where you start, but it is a goal to get to, because this is preparatory training for what your spine has to deal with and contend with in the surf and the loads that are kind of placed into it.
That's great.
The aftermath of the exercise video, there's some scars, that's hollow trees. Let's see the foot, bro. Oh yes.
Oh yes, it's all covered.
Yeah. Oh, pay to play, baby, pay to play. And now it's so damn hot. Smashing coconuts. We're gonna go surf.
Sure.